Hello and welcome back to G-Senjou no Maou. We left off at kind of a cliffhanger, and yeah, it's a way too long time since I uploaded the last one. Yeah, anyway, let's just head on with it. No long speeches on the beginning of this. Okay, from above, Maou looked up the stairs.
人間は面白いよな。雑踏の中、どれだけ周りが騒がしくても自分の名前を呼ばれるとつい振り返ってしまう。
Humans really are fascinating creatures. It doesn't matter how many people are around you, how much noise you hear, you will still turn toward the person who called your name. I think I gave him a totally different voice and it was way more immersive. I'm sorry. Should I reread it? Nah. Haru realized that she had indeed made a mistake. She figured as long as she waited downstairs, Maou would appear there. During their prolonged game of tag, Haru had grown so focused on solving the numerous riddles he presented, so focused that she had forgotten that Maou may have set a trap within the riddles themselves. Maou now drew her attention freely, without worry, from a place where she could not see him clearly. A man in a large black coat spoke those seductive words. However, his back was facing Haru, and one could not discern his feature through the dim streetlights. Is this man Maou? Or just one of his underlings?
あなたね。
It's you, isn't it? Haru asked the mysterious person.
お前だな。
It's you, right? He should be a man. He should be a man. She couldn't really discern the voice at all, though. But she thought she may even vaguely recognize the voice, and she couldn't even discount the possibility of the voice belonging to a woman.
私が春よ。
I am Haru. Not Hero? The girl straightened her posture.
私が魔王だ。
I am Maou. She realized her whole body was trembling. Haru clenched her fists to suppress her apprehension. The fear she held slowly drew near. This is no longer a game. The battle has begun. Akabe Softus! Are you serious? This was a prologue of the game? And now the final thing starts? Oh god damn it, what's reading there?
罠にはまってゆくけど真実遠いものさ答え追ってゆくけれど掴む術はない微笑みに揺れる心の闇幻
Oh, this works. This is really cool. This feels like an opening to an anime. Why didn't they show this sooner? Come on, what? There's horrible screen tearing on my end, but only because the game doesn't support full sync, I mean. No, V-Sync, yeah, that's it. But it was still cool. I like the images shown. We finished the first chapter! I can go on to the next one. I really cut it off to to the end of the first chapter before even starting the next one? Are you serious with me right now? I could have just made read a few minutes more and then the chapter would be over. This is kind of great. But yeah, I have one thing to do. I go into the configs and look up if there's a VSync. It would be great. Okay, as far as I can see it, there's no VSync in it, even though it would be great, cause I can't play this game in window mode, for the reason that I'm not able to change the resolution. And if I play it in window mode, the resolution is that small. I think, yeah, is it that small? And my screen is like this. So it would be really hard to read for me. Otherwise, I could change the resolution of my screen to fit it the game, but that would be kinda dumb. So I bear with the screen tearing. Luckily, the screen tearing is not recorded, so it's only on my end because my screen is not capturing, but the capture itself will have no screen tearing whatsoever. So I guess we can head on to the next chapter, and this is great! Even though I fucked up the rest of the last chapter, cause I had a totally different voice from Maou, but maybe I get into the groove again. I hope I get into the groove again. So yeah, let's enter to the next chapter. School hours are actually my hours off. Even though today's Monday, I skipped school in order to perform my prioritized tasks. Today I'll be investigating the upcoming redevelopment of the Eastern District. Oh, that reminds me. I really love the comment I got. I think I complained in the video about, oh, this game is already so long and it finally takes speed. And then I got a comment about that this thing here will go about 20 more hours of reading. 20 more hours. And I was just, really? And that's what he meant by that. We just finished only the first chapter and this was like the prologue to the game we played so far. So we have now 13 episodes, which are all the first chapter. This is nothing like Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo was way shorter. But Katawa Shoujo, on the other hand, has more options, cause there are a few different girls and you can get to know all of them. So there's for every girl a part, so it can easily go also longer. But I don't know what kind of story will they I know what kind of story it will be, but with what they will fill 20 hours. I hope it's not boring stuff or that it feels unnecessarily stretched out, cause with these things of the schools and how she solved the mystery about the key that was missing and he stole it actually and then they got busted and stuff. Those are kind of filler episodes, it seems. But never mind that, let's go on with this. Today I'll be investigating the upcoming redevelopment of the Eastern District. Following the success of the theme parks downtown, they hope to draw a swarm of large-scale entertainment businesses into the region. Though the Asai Corporation doesn't directly deal in real estate, projects like these still bring people knocking on our doors. When you are a front for organized crime, your special brand of land sharking and property acquisition is always in demand. However, I'm very sorry. This is simply an accounting error. I apologize for the mistake. Ever since my meeting with Yusami 2 days ago, my mind has been wandering. Right, I'm heading there now. Right, I'm heading there now to look for myself. I couldn't concentrate, and apparently me neither, at all yesterday, and my head felt sluggish, almost like I wasn't fully awake yet. Which is quite odd, considering I went straight to bed after leaving the coffee house on Central Boulevard. This is all Yusami's fault. I suddenly thought of Yusami in her penguin suit. ... After hanging up the phone, I watched the passing crowds with apathy. When I walked past the shop Yusami worked at, I saw that she wasn't there.
チワス
Yo! What? A voice suddenly called out to me from behind my back.
最高ですか
This voice is so strange! Have you heard the good news? What's this all of a sudden?
いや別に行ってみたかっただけです
Jeez. Nothing. I just wanted to say that. Is she retarded?
それよりどうしたんすかスーツなんか着て
Seriously, what's up? Why are you wearing a suit? What about you? Why aren't you at school?
自分は今日は休みです体調が優れないので見てくださいよめっちゃうつうつとしてるでしょ
I'm not feeling well, so I decided to take the day off. Can't you tell by my gloomy face? Totally gloomy here, right here, totally gloomy face with a smile on it and those piercing eyes. You always look gloomy. Go get a haircut. Aww.
Eh?
An unusually sincere look of surprise erupted on her typically smug face. What?
傷つきました
I'm hurt. Oh. Why?
髪は浅井さんのために伸ばしてるんです
What? I grew my hair out for you, Azai-san. Why would you think I like long hair?
とにかく傷つきましたどれくらい傷ついたかというと今日の晩ご飯もおごっていただきたいくらいです
Regardless, I'm very hurt. How much, so you ask? Well, at least enough to require you to buy me dinner tonight. That's why I laughed. She just wanted to con a meal out of me. That's not going to happen. I'm busy right now.
お仕事ですか
Work, is it? ...
お父さんのお手伝い
Are you helping your dad? My hesitation was clearly a mistake.
なるほどなるほど学園を休んでまで頑張ってらっしゃるんですね
I see. So you prioritize work over school? Do you have some business with me? Yusami laughed. That smug smile was back on her face.
昨日魔王に会ったんですよ
I met Maou yesterday. She spoke so nonchalantly. What did you say? You met Maou?
遠巻きに会いました
We spoke from good distance. Huh?
かなり見下ろされましただいぶ逆光でした
He was above me and backlit to boot. This could be taken the wrong way. In other words, you didn't see his face?
声は交わしました
We exchanged words. Really? Yusami's rather eccentric, so one can never be sure when she's being serious or not.
ところで浅井さんは昨日もお仕事されてたんですか
By the way, you were working yesterday too, right? She changed the topic again. I can't help but feel that she's trying to corner me. I was. What about it?
浅井さんのお仕事は大抵電話で済むんですかね
Your work is mainly conducted over the phone, correct? Well, occasionally something comes up that can't be resolved over the phone. But that's neither here nor there. Tell me about Maou.
昨日はどちらに
Where did you go yesterday? What's she getting at? I went to Central Boulevard in the afternoon.
そうっすか
I see. Other than that, I was at home most of the day.
誰かと会ったりしていましたか？
Did you meet with anyone? What's this all about? It's as if you are checking my alibi. Oh, she suspect. Of course, everyone is a suspect unless proven not. I only meant it as a joke, but Yusami responded with a confident smile.
魔王はこの町を知り尽くしている人物です。
Maou knows the city extremely well.
どの路地が最小限の時間で姿を消すのに適しているのか、どんな場所が相手に顔を見られずに逃走できるのか、
He knows
そう
things
いう
like...
ことを熟知しています。
Ah, this again, it's lovely. He knows things like which alleyway enables the quickest escape, which places prevent his face from being seen. He's that familiar with the area. Yusami stared intently into my eyes. Is he a man?
おそらく。しかし、綺麗な声でした。ああいう声を出せる女性がいても、おかしくはないと思わせられるような、
Oh, thanks,
中性
Yusami.
的な魅力もありました。
Those awkward pauses in the speech is just hilarious. Even though I'm doing awkward pauses, but at least you can see while looking at me while gesturing, and you see when I think about words, but come on. Probably. However, his voice was beautiful. It had such a androgynous charm that I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out to be that of a woman. She tiptoed around the question. I guess she wanted to give her opinion without coming to any definite conclusions yet. So he escaped.
残念ながら。
Unfortunately, that is the case. I took out my wallet from the breast pocket of my suit. I want to hear everything in detail. I motioned toward the coffee house with my chin.
お仕事はいいんですか？
What about your job? Don't worry about it. Surveying the Eastern District can wait until this evening.
じゃあ自分、カツ丼で。
Then I want the beef bowl. They don't have it.
ああ、つゆだくがいいです。
Oh, and I want extra sauce too. ... So she wants a free meal. I pretty much heard the whole story.
市内をだいぶ走り回りましたよ。
I ran around the better part of the city. Yusami played along with Mao's games and performed fairly well.
最後はしてやられました。姿を見られない場所に誘い込まれているとは気づきませんでした。
But I still failed in the end. I didn't notice that he lured me to a location where I couldn't see him. In the end, what did Mao want to do?
おそらく私に興味を示したんだと思います。
I think he was showing interest in me. Interest? Why? Why would someone with the power of circulate drugs in secret be interested in a high school girl?
因縁があるんですよ。
We have a bit of a history. What happened?
それを言うにはまだまだ友情が足りません。
I'm afraid we are not close enough for me to divulge that information. Come on now. Weren't you the one that said we should find Maou together? Yusami shook her head.
いいですか、浅井さん。
Listen, Azai-san.
我々は敵と書いて友と読むような関係です。利害関係の一致から協力しているだけです。魔王という強大な敵を倒すために一時的に力を貸し合っているのです。
We may talk like friends, but we are enemies. We are only cooperating because of common goal. We are temporarily joining forces in order to defeat the powerful enemy known as Maou.
それ言い過ぎか。仲間なんだけど、お互い秘密が多すぎていまいち信用できないだけか。
That might be overstating it a little. How about this? We are companions. We just have too many secrets, and so we can't bring ourselves to fully trust each other. Your rambling is annoying.
ちなみに浅井さんは敵だった時は強いんだけど、仲間になった途端に弱くなるタイプかと。
On a related note, you seem to be the type that makes for a tough enemy, but suddenly gets weaker when you decide to join the party. Not exactly sure what she meant by that, but she seems to be mocking me.
まあすいません。自分は魔王に恨みがあるとだけ言っておきます。
Oh, sorry. Let's just say I have a grudge against him, and leave it at that. Well, I have a grudge against him too. Gonzo came down so hard on me because of that guy. I possessed all the information. So, Maou already knows everything about you, from your job to this coffee house. He even knows your nickname, Hero.
ですね。
Indeed. On top of that, he prepared graffiti in advance and used his lackeys, I think his henchmen, to relay messages to you. He probably uses the same kids to move his drugs around. Maou must be a person with a lot of power.
どういう意味で実力者ですか？
Exactly what kind of power are you talking about? Well, at the very least, he's got a lot of money. He has someone working to gather information on you, doesn't he?
あるいは私の近くにいる人間こそが魔王なんでしょう。
Or perhaps he himself is close to me. I see. So that's why she was interrogating me about yesterday.
まあ身元の割れない携帯電話を用意するあたりも中東ですよね。
I don't know the last word, but I try. In any case, he went to the trouble of preparing an untraceable cell phone. Thus, we can say that he is very meticulous. Meticulous? Or whatever this means. He must be quite familiar with the ways of the underworld. I'm beginning to get a faint picture of what this guy is like. What about his age and stature?
年は若いと推測してみます。
I would wager he's a young man. Because his voice sounded young?
それもありますが、行動に子供のような遊び心が伺えるからです。
Yes, but also because his actions resemble those of a playful child. I guess you could put it that way. If he wasn't a little brat, he wouldn't be playing hide and seek along Central Boulevard.
断定はできませんが。
Still, I can't be certain. Of course, many successful businessmen also have a playful mind. Some people don't forget their youthful passions. In fact, many people have found unexpected success when branching out into work that, as an observer would put it, allows them to play around.
浅井さんのお仕事の話ですか？
People you've met through your work? Well, I only just happened to talk to people like that by tagging along with my dad. I averted my eyes without thinking.
浅井さんは仕事のことになると目つきが変わりますね。
Adai-san, your eyes change whenever we talk about your job. Of course, because we're talking about money. Money isn't a game.
心なしか声色も変わるような気がします。
Maybe it's just my imagination, but even your voice seems to change. Tsubaki once told me that too. Like I said, my work involves handling money. Doing negotiations, I speak from the chest to make it harder for them to get a read on me. From the chest? So, like this. I speak from my chest to make it harder for you to read me. I'm just kidding.
そうですか。かっこいいですね。
So, basically you want to speak from your tummy for some reasons. But you can also do it from the chest area. Just to put it a little bit higher here in the chest area, right here. So your voice can change in whatever you want it to be. So you can use the full pulsation of your whole body to make your voice sound different. And you can even shift this to very many certain levels. So your voice resonates in different kinds of your area. Currently I'm concentrating right here. Because I can't feel the vibration here, my voice seems to be in that area for now. But if I speak totally normally, then the vibration is more here, even though it's faintly noticeable. But yeah, those are things. I don't exactly know where the spiral cords are if I go like this. But it starts to hurt my voice if I do it for too long. But yeah. Why am I even doing this? Well, fuck it. Let's just go on. I see. Pretty cool. I'm being stared at. I sighed and said, You think I'm Maou? You think I'm Maou? Yusami nodded without hesitation.
可能性はゼロではないです。
The possibility isn't zero. Does my voice resemble Maou's?
それは何とも言えません。ただ、浅井さんの声は時として変わるな、と思っただけです。
That's not it. I was just pointing out that you can... Oh God, I hurt my voice a little bit. I was just pointing out that you can speak differently under different circumstances is all. I really try to speak like a girl sometimes, only in those scenarios where I have to read something like a girl. So it's really hard for me to have a balance where I sound like a girl without sounding like a joke. It's very hard for me to really even it out. So I don't... It can sound funny, but in some circumstances I don't really want it to sound funny. But I know sometimes it can't be helped, but I really try to be totally serious. Well, this could probably a voice for a certain character later on in the game, but I'm not confident enough to put on a voice for a certain character and keep it at that, cause I'm most of the time not satisfied with the certain voice I gave a character, or I just plain forget how to make the voice. Cause if I could control when and where and how and where if I could control it more easily, then those experiences where I read those visual novels would be way better, and I really tried to read clearly, to speak clearly, and try to give them unique voices. So her voice is still manly, but I still tried to make the voice softer for her so that it's not as hard as the manly voice, manly voice in quotations, of course, when I speak her character. If you want to talk suspects, I'd say we can't even rule out you. We can't even rule you out yet. Yeah, great reading here.
いや、それはないっす。
No, it's not me. And why not?
私自身が魔王ではないと知っているからです。
Because I know I'm not Maou. Well, I also know I'm not Maou.
説得力がありませんね。
You are not convincing. Neither are you. Yusami smiled wryly. Wryly. Okay, how about this?
はい。
Huh? Let's make a deal.
最低限、私たちはお互いを疑わないということですか？
Are you about to say that we shouldn't suspect each other? It's good to know that we understand one another.
別に、私は浅井さんを疑っているわけじゃありませんよ。
Well, I never really suspected you. I'd like to believe that myself, but if you put down a security deposit, then I might believe you. A what?
まあわかりました。何にせよ、 浅井さんのことは信用していますよ。無
Got
条
it.
件で。
Dup dup. Got it. Then I'll trust you unconditionally, Azai-san. Surely no one would trust someone they barely know unconditionally. Thank you very much. Yusami stood up from her seat.
それじゃあ自分、学園行きますんで。
In that case, I'll be going to school now. Aren't you taking the day off?
体調が悪いんで休もうかとも思いましたけど、やっぱりサボりはまずいと思うので。
I was going to take the day off since I'm not feeling too well, but now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't skip school. I suddenly realized something. You're actually being serious about not feeling well, aren't you?
まあ、病院に寄るつもりでした。
Yeah, well, I had planned to see a doctor. Do you have a weak constitution or something? I never would have guessed.
いえ、たくましくも可憐なはずですが、スポーツは苦手です。
No way. I'm supposed to be robust and lovable, right? Still, for some reason, I suck at sports. I'm not sure what she's getting at. Are you going to call a cab?
お金ないので。
I'm broke. Tell me when your payday is, and I'll let you borrow some money.
取り立てるってことですか？遠慮しておきます。
So you can come collect the debt later? I'll pass. Alright then, well, let's stay in touch. There's some sort of history between Yusami and Maou. She said it was a grudge, but I'm not sure about the details. Oh, I suspect that it could be not her real name. So... But he could run a search on her name, so to get a background history on her. However, if they have such a history, there's always a chance that Maou will attempt to come into contact with her again in the future. As long as I keep up a good relationship with Yusami, I might be able to pick up some important information.
どうしました？考え事ですか？
What is it? Something on your mind? Huh? Well...
何を考えているか当ててみましょうか。
Shall I try to guess what you're thinking? I've almost taken a shine to that cleverness of hers.
浅井さんにとって私がどれくらい役に立つか
I'd
計
say
りにかけてるんです。
you're measuring how useful I'll be. Am I right? It seems getting close to her won't be a waste of my time. My bizarre coincidence. I ran into Tsubaki. It was just as I was about to head for Central Boulevard subway station.
やっぱり浅井くんだ。
So it really is you, Azai-kun? She can see my face too clearly for me to pretend I didn't hear her. Oh, are you going home now?
学園どうしたの？
Why didn't you come to school? I knew she was going to ask me that. Tell her I'm cutting, make up a reasonable excuse. I have a choice? Oh god. Tell her I'm cutting. I'm cutting school? Or make up a reasonable excuse. So, basically we try to be honest with her. We are cutting school for doing different stuff. Or we can just make up an excuse. But yeah, I think I just should tell her straight to the face that I'm cutting school? Oh, but then she has maybe a bad opinion about me. Fuck it. I'm just tell her, but I will save here. Just in case. Tell her I'm cutting. I was cutting class. Huh? Tsubaki froze. Her blank look resembled that of a child who was left behind by her parents.
サボるってどういうこと？
What do you mean you were cutting? I want to see what's the first few sentences only, okay? Truth be told, I was at a party. In order for her to notice my suit, I adjusted my tie.
パーティー？
A party? My dad is an important person in the financial world. He said he wanted to introduce me to some...
でも、そんな理由で学園を休めるの？
Okay, I go with the cutting thing. It is more hilarious. Okay, I go with the cutting thing. It's more hilarious. Cause she froze a place. Was left behind by her parents. That's where we left off.
サボるってどういうこと？
Oh, I was there already too. It seems the very concept of cutting class isn't in this girl's head. Well, I just went out to have some fun.
ダメだよ。それはいけないことだよ。
That's not good. You shouldn't do that. Oh, sorry. You are the class representative. Oh, sorry. You are the class representative after all.
クラス委員だからじゃなくて心配してたんだよ。
Oh, not saying this because I'm your class representative. It's just that I was worried about you. Worried?
うん。病欠って担任の先生から聞いてたから。
Uh-huh. I heard from the teacher that you called in sick. Really?
でも病気じゃなくてよかった。今度からはちゃんと本当のこと教えてね。
Oh, she's so cute. But I'm so relieved to hear that you're okay. In the future, please be sure to tell the truth. She had such a warm gaze. For some reason, I couldn't help but avert my eyes. You live in the Eastern District, right?
うん、そうだよ。
Well, yes. Why don't we go part way there together, then?
え？東区に用事でもあるの？
Huh? You have business there? Yes. I need to visit someone.
お友達？
A friend? Well, you could put it that way.
浅井くんはお友達多いな。
You sure have a lot of friends. We walked amidst the sea of people toward the subway station's ticket counter. Land grabbing. To put it bluntly, that's my business here. Oh, land grabbing, okay. In the Eastern District, where Tsubaki lives, a large-scale ski resort is under development. Sorry. However, that area used to be nothing but farmland. The land owners there have owned the property for ages. One company was very particular about buying all the land quickly after some investigation. I discovered that it was a subsidiary of the Sanou Corporation. If you even think about doing something big in this town, Sanou's omnipresent name will come up sooner or later. The Sanou Corporation is a perfectly clean company, of course, but if there's a problem they can't settle cleanly, they leave the dirty work to us. 5 families. Our contract with Sanou requires us to drive 5 families away from the land.
浅井くん、そろそろ着くよ。
We are almost there, Adai-kun. The subway exit opened near a small park. This place is different from Central Boulevard. The sea of people is nowhere to be found. Sure is cold out here.
山が近いからかな。
It's because we are near the mountains. As Tsubaki was talking, my cell phone vibrated inside my breast pocket. Sorry, I gotta take this. It's Miki-chan. Hello? Yes? I see. Not a problem. ... Then how about next week? Okay.
電話終わった？
Are you finished? Yeah, it was a friend.
ひょっとして彼女さん？
This was a way too long pause. So, is she your girlfriend? I don't have a girlfriend.
前にいるって言ってなかったっけ？
But didn't you say you did? I don't remember ever saying that.
本当にいないの？
You really don't have a girlfriend? Nope, still single. I'm not the type for a serious commitment.
そっか、そうなんだ。私勘違いしてた。
I see. So, it was a misunderstanding. She seemed embarrassed, but also kind of happy. Oh, she has a crush on you. She has such a huge crush on you.
彼女さんいるならあんまり一緒に歩いたり CD 買いに行ったりしたらダメかなって思ってたの。
If you did have a girlfriend, then we shouldn't have been hanging out or going to buy CDs together too much. Why? If you have a girlfriend, you still can have female friends and go out with them. I mean, come on, why not? In a serious commitment, you shouldn't be jealous for one another, even though I did this a little. I'm always a little bit jealous, but I'm not so jealous that it can be really... I'm more jealous of a cute way and not in the creepy way. Okay, yeah, let's move on. Even if I did have one, that much would be fine.
うん。でも悪い気がしてたの。
Yeah, but it wouldn't feel right. She took a deep breath to show her relief. Apparently to Tsubaki, something of that extent was a major offense. I have some pretty complicated feelings about this one. To be honest, I kind of find her a little hard to deal with, cause she don't respect money. That's what he actually said. She doesn't do any of the things a normal person would deliberately do to be liked by others. And naturally, when a person is too kind, you have a hard time believing they are genuine.
どうしたの？何か不機嫌？
What is it? Did I say something wrong? Even so, she has good intuition. Well, I'll be going now.
どこに行くの？
Where are you going? The address is... Her eyes widened when she heard me repeat the street and number. Tsubaki had always been an interesting girl. Oh god. Is he about to drive out her family from the house? Is this really what this is heading to? There's no other reason for her eyes to widen and get her face open like this. I mean, oh god. She possessed so much of what I lacked. The thought of becoming deeply involved with her crossed my mind.
あ、それって
Well... Coincidence dictated that this thought would become reality.
うちの家の住所だよ。
That's where I live! Chapter 2 Kidnapping Spree. Oh yes, now he is coming in again. He stands there, pondering. It's been almost an hour. Maou closes his eyes. There's no heating and the ice-cold wall pressed against his back. With such indifference to the cold, it's as if he were a monk who had suppressed all sensation from the outside world. Maou already has a plan. When the plan is carried out, a crime of historical proportions will be brought upon this very city. However, the time is still not right. All the preparations have been made. All that remained was to simply await the perfect moment. It is, to use a cliché, like the calm before the storm. It is, to use a cliché, like the calm before the storm. Are there any loose ends left to be neatly tied together? Did he miss anything during the planning phase? He pondered this over and over. He always arrived at the same answer. There's nothing left to do. Right now, his best course of action is to lay low. Yusami Haru. If there's any unknown factor in the plan, it's her. Maou used a detective agency to check up on Yusami Haru. That long-haired girl is quite different from normal high school students. He had experienced her incredible intelligence firsthand. The detectives had searched her personal contacts and background as well. In the process, they uncovered that Yusami Haru had another side to her. However, it's not something that could threaten Mao's plans. What need is there to fear her? There are plenty of other people who also hold a grudge against Maou. He heard the sound of the elevator moving.
遅くなって申し訳ない。
I'm terribly sorry for being late. Sumeya bowed deeply. A hint of sweat rolled down his forehead as he stood up straight.
東区の開発の件で会議が長引いてしまってね。
A meeting concerning the development in the Eastern District went overtime.
麦焼酎はいかがでしたか？
How was that liquor? He stared at Sumeya's wet face. He spoke to him with his eyes. Ah, what voice was good for Maou? It should be a villainish voice. A deeper but not too deep, and also manically a little bit. It has to have an edge. It was not a meeting, but a party, wasn't it? I also did my homework about you, about how much you love that liquor. Sumeya breathed out words drenched in the smell of alcohol.
すまなかった。大事な相談だったんだ。何しろ国土交通省の役人も来ていたのだから。
Sorry, it was important business. After all, the man's a bureaucrat from the Department of Transportation.
結構なことです。ただ、時間が有限であることをお忘れなきよう。
That's quite alright. Just don't forget that my time is limited. The conversation immediately switched gears. Sumeya is now quite submissive to Maou. Seeing him soundly defeat even the genius from Boston apparently left quite the impact on him. Oh yeah, he broke his finger. Sumeya doesn't know anything about Maou. Name, age, history, all of his information had been fabricated. But in some businesses, it's better not to know your partner's true nature. After all, it's easier to escape the law that way if it happened to come to that. Sumeya tried to be understanding. Mao's biggest contribution to the Sanou Corporation was the smuggling of firearms. Since before the war, the nation's firearm industry was monopolized by a single company. The Sanou Corporation! That's the corporation Azai was talking about! He said that the Sanou Corporation is a clean corporation with no criminal intent. And now this. Smuggling since before the war, the nation's firearm industry was monopolized by a single company. Mao's prowess is what helped break this monopoly on the Japanese firearms market. The Japanese tax on imports was harsh, but Maou saw a weak point in the low tax on exports. by establishing a base in the ports of Niigata and Fukuoka, and by forming ties with miscreant foreigners who had past experience in doing business with organized crime groups, he formed a route between North Korea and Hong Kong. There were a number of huge risks involved. He knew the country's crisis management was something not to be underestimated. But regardless of how powerful his enemy may be, it was something he had to do.
いや、改めて君の鋭さには驚かされるよ。
You never cease to amaze me with your wit. They finished talking about business. They covered topics like how to cover up the weapons, the method in which to smuggle them, which people they need to win over to their side. Everything had been taken care of.
一つ聞いてみたいのだがね。
There's something I want to know. Somaya finally relaxed.
君の目的は何なのだ？
What's your objective?
目的？
My objective?
君ほどの男だ。金ではないのだろ？
You don't look like the type of person who's interested in money. The alcohol must have been wearing off. Somaya looked a little tense.
そろそろ長い付き合いになる。君の夢の一つでも聞かせてもらえんかね。
We've been doing business for a while now. Care to tell me about your ambitions? That look in his eye is not bad at all, he thought. From the very beginning, Maou had never taken Somaya lightly. True, he did think he was easy to manipulate, but not to the point where he would hold contempt for him. When Somaya ascended to the position of director of senior management for the Sanou Corporation, he took the organization in a whole new direction. As part of a policy of rapid expansion, the company invested most of its proceeds into new and different ventures. Of course, since the new plan involved giving lower priority to employee bonuses, there was no shortage of opposition to it. But all of this, even working with Maou and expanding into illegal business, was all for the sake of the company.
私の父は戦中派の人間でね。この会社のために懸命に働き、骨をうずめていった。私は父が大きくした会社を守っていかねばならないんだよ。
My father worked here since before the war. He spent his entire life working for this company, giving everything he had to make it what it is today. I must continue to make sure his work was not in vain.
ご立派な志です。
What a nice idea. He said that sincerely. Even though people call him Maou, Maou never actually thought of himself as some sort of overbearing existence. He knew that Somaya, being over 30 years older than himself, no doubt had certain capabilities with which he himself could not compare.
夢などありません。
I have no dreams.
謙遜するな。君の目は戦いを前にした父の目に似ている。大きな志を持った男の目だ。
Don't be so modest. You have the same eyes my father did before going out to fight. The eyes of a man with grand goals and great expectations.
夢などありません。本当です。
I have no dreams. It's the truth. He said this absolutely. Somaya lowered his head. The man seemed to be trying to hide his disappointment. That's strange. Why is he even working for this company, doing all those things, planning, strategizing, gathering information, but is not going for any goal? No, this can't be true.
まあいい。何にせよ、 金で動かない人間は扱いが難しい。
Never mind. It's difficult to handle someone who isn't moved by money.
何かお困りのようですね。
What seems to be the problem?
鋭いな、君は。なに、東区の用地買収がね、思うように進んでないんだ。
You really are a sharp one. I'm having trouble buying up all the land in the Eastern District.
土地を手放したくない人間がいるんですね。
There are people who aren't willing to let go of their property.
相場の2倍の金を出すと言っても聞いてくれない。あまりに困ったんで、プロを雇うことにしたよ。
They won't listen to us, even when we offer twice the market value. It's so annoying. I had to hire people specialized in this matter to deal with them. Probably specialized in organized violence. So Somaya likes the brute methods too. Nowadays, though, land sharks can't use the same kinds of violent methods they did back during the bubble. It's understandable that he'd have trouble making a settlement.
あと、たったの一区画なんだがね。
Only one area remains. Somaya took out his notebook. Addresses and blueprints were scattered throughout the pages. He flipped to a page which listed the families unwilling to move out.
いずれにせよ、私には関係のない話です。
Whatever the case, this has nothing to do with me. Maou flung his head to cast away the request.
これはすまなかった。君の手を煩わせるつもりはない。
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't really intend to ask you for your help.
染谷室長が手を煩わせるほどのことでもないでしょう。
Is this matter really enough to bring you to this point? Indeed, it would be more appropriate for a section chief at a those hard words at a subsidiary company to be worrying like this over this matter. He was well aware of how much effort the Sano Corporation had invested in the Eastern District recreational project. Still, Somaya was the director of senior management at corporate headquarters. It would be hard to swallow that this project was so important to him. Certainly there was more to the story.
国土交通省の方とお会いになっているそうですね。
I heard you met that bureaucrat from the DOT. DOT. It's better I say DOT.
君にはかなわんな。そう、株だよ。
I can't keep anything from you. Yes, it's about the shares. Insider trading. Indeed, if this project proceeds successfully, the value of the stock would skyrocket. And fast. Somaya obviously passed on some information to bribe the official. Just then, Maou picked out a name from Somaya's notebook.
三輪椿。
I knew it. He closed his eyes. Miwa Tsubaki. Where had he heard this name before?
どうかしたのかね。
What is it?
いえ、
Nothing.
気分が悪そうだが。
Not feeling well? Oh, yes. She's an acquaintance of Yusami Haru.
この三輪椿という少女は自由ヶ崎学園に通っているのでは？
This Miwa Tsubaki, she goes to school at Yugasaki, right?
知り合いかね。
Do you know her? Maou chuckled. What should he do with his free time before the storm? The answer to the object of his ceaseless pondering had come together in an instant. He could use Tsubaki to corner Yusami Haru, forcing her to submit.
染谷室長、私に任せていただきたい。
Mr. Somea, I'd like to take care of this matter. Somea caught his breath.
どういう風の吹き回しだ？
What brought on this change?
南米のテロリストの話です。旅客機の中にテロリストが狙う要人がいました。テロリストは要人を殺害するだけでは気が済まなかった。何の罪もない旅客を巻き添えにして飛行機を墜落させました。要人と同じ飛行機に乗っていたという理由だけで。
I remember the story about a South American terrorist. He boarded a plane to kill a certain man, but his group wasn't satisfied with simply killing the target. Thus, they instead caused the whole plane to crash, killing hundreds of innocents. They killed these people for the simple reason that they boarded the same plane as their target. Maou's lips twisted into a frown. Negative emotions stirred within him. Emotions he could not suppress. Just as Maou had said, he does not have a dream himself.
私の心にあるのはただ一つです。
There's only one thing that stays within my mind.
さっきから何を言ってるんだ？
What are you talking about?
すべてお任せください。
Just let me take care of everything. I'm looking up his voice. I already gave him a voice, but I can't remember it now. I know there's the episode where with the title Breaking Him Like a Kit Kat or something. And I think I should look into this again. What kind of voice I gave him. Or the episode before this one. This would be even easier. Okay. Maou turned away from Somea. His whole body trembled. There was one emotion able to force Maou into action. Revenge. Revenge? Revenge on Yusami Haru? Only revenge. This is weird. Okay, I am going to leave this episode here. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Leave a like if you did, and I will hopefully see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.